everyone. In this video we're going to look at problem F on page 52. But I'm going to turn it over so I don't run out of room. Okay, so we have cosine times tangent plus 1 over cosecant. And remember, we're trying to simplify it. So our answers should probably not have any fractions in it, and we want to have as few terms as possible. So let's see what we got. Cosine times tangent plus 1 over cosecant. Nothing cancels out or simplifies yet. So we're going to have to change something using our trig identities. So let's take a look at our reciprocal identities. Right here. Because remember, the directions are asking us to use our reciprocal identities. Okay. And we have cosine, tangent, cosecant. Let's look at tangent. So tangent on our reciprocal identities is defined as sine over cosine. We've seen that quite a bit now. So I'm going to go ahead and replace tangent in our problem with sine over cosine. So we have tangent is now sine over cosine. I'll bring down our cosine. Remember, this is just being multiplied to tangent, so we have cosine times tangent, or sine over cosine. Remember, we can commit any number over 1, so I'll go ahead and put cosine over 1 so we can see the two fractions. When we're multiplying two fractions, we just multiply straight across the top and the bottom. So cosine times sine equals cosine times sine in our numerator, or the top of the fraction, divided by 1 times cosine. That's just cosine. So we have cosine on the bottom, or in the denominator. And remember, we still have our plus 1 over cosecant. So I'll go ahead and bring that down. Plus 1 over cosecant. Okay. Now, does anything cancel out yet? Well, we have cosine in the top of the fraction, the numerator, and we have cosine in the denominator, or the bottom of the fraction, so that's cosine divided by cosine. So that cancels out, because cosine divided by cosine is 1, since any number where itself is 1. So on this fraction, we're just left with sine. So we have sine plus 1 over cosecant. Just bringing that down. Okay. So this fraction is pretty simplified now, just a sine. What can we do here? So how is cosecant defined? Let's take a look. So cosecant is defined as 1 over sine on our reciprocal identities. So let's go ahead and replace cosecant with 1 over sine. So we have 1 over, that's the tricky part, 1 over sine, right? We can write it like that. But that looks really weird, doesn't it? So what this is actually saying is 1 divided by 1 over sine. So I'm actually going to write it like that instead. So I'm going to write it as 1 divided by 1 over sine. So that looks a lot easier to solve. But it's the same thing. Okay, so remember, when we divide fractions, we need to change it to multiplication and take the reciprocal or flip it. Or as in Delta Math, keep, change, flip. So we keep the first term, change the division to multiplication, and we flip the fraction to sine over 1. And sine over 1 is the same thing as sine. 1 times sine is just sine. So that becomes sine. We'll go ahead and bring down our other one. So we have sine plus, go ahead and bring in our addition sign. So now we have sine plus sine. That's just going to be 2 sine, because it's just like a variable. We can combine it the same way. Okay, now we just have one term, sine. We don't have any fractions. our answer is simplified as much as possible. So our answer is just 2 sine. Okay, that's it for problem F. In the next video, I'll go over problem A in example 2 on page 52. Until then, see ya.